Good day, everyone. My name is Joe Wetstead. I'm Vice President of Sales and Marketing for accesso ShoWare. I want to thank you for joining us today for our first webinar in our fall series. Let's call it Fall Winter Series. Today's webinar will introduce our brand new integrated email module in accesso ShoWare. I'm joined in presenting to you today by Wendy Inez. Wendy is a Sales Director joining us from Anaheim, California. Today's webinar will provide you with an understanding of accesso ShoWare's new integrated email module and our integration with Emma. If you have questions during the webinar, please use the question box in your go-to console, and our webinar organizer, Katie, will collect them and will address all questions following the presentation. So let's get started. At accesso, we believe technology has the power to redefine the guest experience. Everything we do starts with thinking about the guest experience first, which allows us to help simplify operations, improve guest satisfaction, and most importantly, drive revenue growth for our clients. Our product team is always looking for ways to help you build loyal customers as well as help your organization achieve its financial goals. In that vein, today we're excited to announce and demonstrate our integrated email module through Emma. Emma is a best-in-class provider of email marketing software and services. This new integration will allow accesso ShoWare clients to create, schedule, and analyze email campaigns that promote events and performances directly through the accesso ShoWare platform. So why did we integrate with Emma to deliver an integrated email solution within the accesso ShoWare platform? The main reason is it's been a highly requested feature on the roadmap for some time. Or as the slide says, it's because you asked for it. We started our integrated email strategy some time ago. In phase one, we started with an automated event and performance reminders under the marketing tab in your event setup. And then we also had automated donation and membership communications as part of that phase one. The next phase, phase two, is what we're here talking about today, integrated email within the accesso ShoWare platform so you can do your campaigns right through ShoWare. The key ingredient to make phase two integrated email successful was finding the right partner to integrate with. And the right partner had to work for us, but also be a market leader for our clients. Emma became the clear choice. Emma is a solid, well-established company. Like accesso, it's a safe choice, and here's why. Emma provides you with powerful features and a fast and easy-to-use interface. Emma has proven to help its clients drive e-commerce and understand their e-commerce communications in a meaningful way so they can be reacted to. The Emma platform is tenured, it's robust, it's secure, and it's closed loop. And finally, the interface is simple and intuitive and stays in line with the accesso ShoWare design philosophy, putting powerful tools that are simple to use in our customers' hands. With this new feature, promoting your events is easier than ever before. Our fully integrated platform allows you to build, target, send, and track responses to your email marketing directly from your accesso ShoWare system. From creating customer segmented lists to designing campaigns and analyzing results, the entire process is simple and intuitive for beginners and experts alike. The Emma integration provides an email template that you can easily customize with your own branding. With just a few clicks, you can populate the template with information, hyperlinks, and images for your events and performances. The information automatically feeds from your accesso ShoWare system so your marketing team can rest assured that it's accurate. Our campaign dashboard gives you quick access to insightful data on your campaign history and performance, with information on send dates, recipients, open rates, click rates, tickets sold, and conversion rates all at your fingertips. At this point, I know you're all anxious to see the new integration, and so I'll hand things over to Wendy. Wendy?
Thank you very much. Good morning. I wanted to show you this before we dive into the application itself by taking a look at some of the components that go into the email creation. So I'm starting with a sample email here that shows the 4 main components of the email template, and that's the header image, the header message, the promoted items, and the footer message. This is a really clean and simple template that allows you an efficient way to create your email within the accesso tool in just 4 steps. And yet within that tool, you still have a lot of flexibility to be able to customize your message. And we'll look at that in more detail when we get into the application. In the Promoted Items wizard, you'll select from events or event categories to determine what referral links to create. And here we've chosen the event Little Shop of Horrors, and then I have the option to create a single link to the event listings or to create multiple links to the individual performances. This is one of the simplest ways to create referral links I've ever seen. It's very intuitive and very simple to set up. Segmentation is next, and it's also a very important component. And this segmentation wizard makes it easy to determine your recipients and then save those recipient lists for future marketing efforts. To create new segments, you can choose from patron classifications, event categories, specific events, or pricing code groups. And again, this is very efficient to create segments based on your patron's buying history that's contained within the database. And you'll have none of the complications around exporting lists or formatting and importing into another tool. It's all done for you here. And keep in mind the logic here is AND statements between the filters. So you can, for example, choose an event category of musicals and a price code group of members to be able to send a special offer to members who have purchased for musicals about an upcoming offer. And the more filters you choose, the smaller the segment's going to be, but also the more fine-tuned and refined it will be. On this Management tab, you then have the opportunity to preview your message and, of course, go back and edit and fix and format until you're happy with it and ready to publish. Publishing the campaign tells the system you're ready to push, and then the system will automatically take over to deliver at the appointed date and time. So you can't edit a campaign once it's published. However, you can unpublish it and then re-edit as needed. And then the most important part of sending a marketing campaign is, of course, measuring the results. And again, this tool provides a really simple snapshot of exactly how each campaign performed with the direct mail to sale results, including the number of orders, tickets sold, and the all-important revenue generated. So now that I've showed you the basics, let's go ahead and see exactly how easy it is to build and segment and send and measure test results on a campaign. And we will pop over here. So we are in the back end of ShoWare, of course. We have the marketing tab here. We have an email marketing, and we have the campaign filter. When you come into this new screen, then you're going to see published campaigns as well as unpublished or new campaigns. And we'll just go ahead and create a new campaign. Let me come back and actually start a new campaign. I clicked the wrong button. I apologize. Create new campaign is what I was intending to do. So I want to go ahead and create a campaign for, let's call this the 2016 December offer, and we're going to promote A Christmas Carol, A Christmas Story, the musical. And we're just going to do a simple subject, on sale now. And here's where we're going to pull down that header image. And so, of course, this is just pulling from your library. And we'll pull from Christmas Story banner. And then we have our opportunity to put in our header message. I like to compose in Notebook. I think that's one of the easiest ways to just do a copy and paste into your screen here. And then you have all of the ability to use your edit tools here. So maybe I want to let's make the whole thing a little bit bigger with the font size. And then maybe we'll make this entire thing centered. And then I can add some spacing, and we can make this maybe another color. So you get the idea. It's very easy to create and format your email campaigns. So let's add a footer now as well. We'll add a little information for our members and subscribers. We'll drop that in. And if you're more comfortable with formatting in HTML, you do have the ability to do that as well. And I got a little HTML code I can grab here as well. And we'll pop that in. And once I hit OK, you can see that that's a little code for some sponsor images. Now I'm going to set my day and time. This is going to be a promotion that I'll send on November 1st. And we'll send it at, how about 10:30 a.m. So very simple, just set up some basic information in that email. Now I'm going to move to promoted items. And again, this is what referral links do I want to generate for this campaign. So I can simply come into the add button, and I have some filters here to choose from. This is for a Christmas story. So we want to promote a Christmas story. I could do event or event categories. I'm going to hit the find button, and it's going to pull all events and performances related to a Christmas story. And now here I have the option, what kind of referral link do I want to use? I can click here and it will create a referral link that drops people right to the event page, and then they can navigate to whatever specific performance they want. Or I could create links to each of the individual performances. What we can see would be a great application here is that initially you might want to promote the entire event, and then as you do some analyzing of sales and see that maybe one particular performance or another is not selling as well, you could create another campaign and point them just directly to that performance. So super simple to be able to create that. So let's add that referral link, and that tells me it's going to promote to my event and all 8 performances in that event. Now I'm going to figure out who are we sending this to. You can easily create new segments and define those segments. I'm going to give this a segment name. I could create this as a segment that we repeat for just the Christmas story or repeat for other upcoming musicals. I could choose by order purchase date. I could choose by patron classifications, by event categories, by event, or even pricing codes. And remember, these are and statements in between. So I can set up any classifications. This really makes you want to take a second look at how you classify your patrons and how you classify your events. You should always be looking at that with marketing in mind. And in this case, I'm going to grab anybody who happened to purchase for West Side Story, because I think that would be a good group for people for a Christmas story. So we'll hit that for save. Oh, I have to hit add. There we go, and save. And now we've got that segment built, and I can go ahead and hit that. I'm just going to hit staff as well so we get some sent, and we'll hit save. And then in the last step, and again, you can see you just have the same tabbed approach that persists throughout the system. In the Management tab, I have the opportunity to preview my campaign. So here's my campaign with my header image, my header message, my referral link, and my footer message. Looks pretty good. And if we're happy with that, we can go ahead and publish this campaign. If we want to go back and continue editing, you can certainly do that as well. So to sum things up, what you should really take away from this integration is that even if you don't have a dedicated marketing department, or if you have a small staff that kind of has to wear a lot of hats, you can really simply and easily promote your events and performances with a very cool email marketing tool. And anyone can use this. So creating, editing, segmenting, sending, reporting is really simple. You don't need to know how to code in HTML. You don't need to wrestle with lists for importing. This is easy. Results are clear. As we come back and we can see some of the published campaigns, you can see very simply, come back to campaigns here. Here's Little Shop of Horrors. 13 tickets sold, $596.50 in revenue. So a ton of information just at a quick glance of how each campaign has performed. So that was a quick look. I'm going to pop back to our PowerPoint. And then some final thoughts before we turn it over to Q&A, and that's really around some best practices for using this tool within accesso. Opt-ins matter. Emails will only be delivered to patrons who have opted in, and the tool is 100% compatible with the US CAN-SPAM Act as well as the Canadian anti-spam law. Patron classifications, as we see, are very important for segmenting, as are event categories. So use them, fine-tune them, rethink about how you assign categories within your events, and keep marketing in mind, and make the most out of your campaign efforts by utilizing those filters. And finally, test and verify. Try out different subject lines, try out different segmentation groups and graphics, and even compare simple one call to action emails with content-rich multi-call to action emails. So next steps, how do I get it? Very important to understand that there is no charge from ShoWare to implement this service, but you will need a pro account or hire with Emma to integrate and connect with. So you'll start by contacting your accesso customer service rep to provide you with a referral to an Emma representative that'll get you started with your free 30-day trial. And Emma has some flexible pricing options based on the number of contact records in your database, so they'll work with you to determine the best plans for your needs. And Joe, I think that's it for me. Do we have some questions?
We certainly do. Let me get to those. And question number one, thanks for the question, Amber. Does the segmentation determine if emails are in multiple times and only send once? And I would answer that yes. Any?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it's only sending it once, correct?
Correct.
Cool. Larry had a question, and thanks for the question, Larry. When you pulled in the code for the HTML and the sponsor images appeared, where did those come from?
It was an HTML. It was an HTML image link that I had created. So I can go back to that. We can take a look.
So, Wendy, the other way to do that would be in Illustrator or whatever tool you use to make that footer, pull that image in and select the image if you're not HTML savvy, right? Like me.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
It was an image that I had uploaded to the image library, and you can see that the source code here is the image that's within the ShoWare library of images, and then it's just pulling that source code in. So we can help with that if you need help.
Okay. Excellent. Amber had another question, and that question was, are there any marketing templates with images?
There is just the marketing template that allows you to pull in the image through the image library.
Right, and so this iteration of the integrated email marketing there's one template to use. I think the vision is to add more templates over time as we go, but this is kind of a standard template, and there's not a lot of opportunity for us to, being this serves, we'll have the potential to serve, 500 plus clients. It would be hard to come up with images that everybody uses that makes sense. So we kind of make it that we have that image library. You can always have the same header. You just have to design that once and pull it in. Any other thoughts there, Wendy?
Yeah, I think you could do a couple of different things. This is one of our clients that's using kind of their website banner so that it's pulling in branding for their venue. Another idea would be simply to just kind of really develop things based off of your event page. So, for example, in my Christmas Story event page, which looks, let me pull this over so I can show you. This page. I've got basically all of the elements that I'm using in my email just based off of my event page. So I can grab whatever images, whatever text from here that I want to use. I can grab any images from here. I can grab anything from the landing page. I used a little animated header in this one, and all of this exists in the library. So to make it very simple, I would just kind of recreate what's going on in your event page and use that. So
yeah, and that kind of keeps consistency across the event as well.
exactly.
Yeah, so brand consistency, always important. Liz has a question, and good question, and I'll start this, and Wendy, you can jump in anytime. Can you import emails from Constant Contact? And so this is a direct integration excuse me, this is a direct integration with Emma, and so I'm sure Emma would allow, but you can't use, you're either using Constant Contact or you're using Emma. Could you import your contacts from Constant Contact into Emma? The answer would be definitely yes. But you are using Emma when you do an integration like this, or again, that's where we kind of set up at the top of picking who we're going to work with. It can't be this again is triggered through Emma. You will have an account with Emma. You can log into Emma for even more. Wendy showed you what the dashboard looks like through ShoWare, but there's more tools and things within the back end of Emma. So you would be probably making a choice of switching your provider, to be honest.
And I think that's what makes this partnership so powerful, is that we've created a tool where you can really simply create and send and segment emails within ShoWare. So I did this entire thing without ShoWare, within ShoWare without going outside of the system and being able to send that email. But you still have all of the full functionality behind the Emma Pro account. So here I'm in the back end of Emma, and you can see that I have the ability to even drill into additional information on that campaign. If you wanted to pull in a list that was separate from the data that's being pulled in your ShoWare system, you could do that. So you still have all of the power and the flexibility and the functionality behind the MyEmma tool. This is just really a super simple way to take advantage of that and compose and send emails. So kind of the best of both worlds.
Awesome. And certainly you can still, there will be no change to the back end of ShoWare that allows you to export that standard Constant Contact import report. So that will remain available to you if you choose not to use the tool. So again, we remain agnostic in that regard. So okay. Kim has a question, and when a campaign is created and published, is the campaign emailed to our current created patron profiles with email addresses?
Yes, opt-ins do matter, so they do have to be opted in, and again, you're going to segment and decide who that list goes to, but as long as those patrons are opted in and are being pulled in by one of those segmentation lists, then yes.
Great. Liz had another question. How much does it cost after the 30-day trial? And let me just say to all of our great customers out there, Emma has some pricing published on their website, but they've also come back and said, gosh, it's kind of negotiable, and every deal's kind of, just depends, and it's a competitive space. So we are just directed to have you talk with the rep from Emma to get the pricing together. The pro plan that you need that has the API connection to be able to make all this work seamlessly between ShoWare and Emma, those start at about $80, and I think that's up to 10,000 records.
And you do want to definitely start by working with your accesso ShoWare Client Services Manager, because they will provide you a referral link which lets Emma know that you are a ShoWare customer.
Right. So you'll get the most preferred pricing. And thank you, Wendy. Good point. All right. Allison has a question, and I don't. This is beyond me, I think. Is there A/B testing possibilities?
Yes, I would encourage A/B testing possibilities, and that just means that you are trying out different subject lines, maybe trying out different segmentation groups, trying out different text within the email offer itself. I think in a true A/B testing, you're able to sort of segment your final list into two parts. That is not necessarily going to be the case here, so you're going to want to take that into account and segment the list appropriately. But I would absolutely encourage, because it's so simple to see the results very quickly on how those minor changes that you make can affect the campaign, everything from when you send it, and there's a ton of information out there, and this is something that I would also encourage you to look through some of my Emma's documentation online. There's a ton of information out there about best practices, when to send an email, what kind of content to put in, what words to use or not use, what subject lines really grab attention, how to make sure your emails don't end up in deleted folders. So I absolutely test. That is the best thing you can do with an email campaign.
All right, and I think the pricing that's established by the email providers in general is set up based on list size, not on how many times you're sending to that list. And that's indicative of, it's a trial and error process. So there we go. Larry has a question. How do we get people to sign up at our website? And a follow-up from Larry, how do we get them to opt in online?
Whenever anybody is purchasing online, they're required, of course, to either create an account or to log into an existing account, and on that login screen is where the opt-in information is. You also have the ability to kind of customize a little bit about what that opt-in means. So you can encourage people to opt in because they're going to receive a monthly newsletter, or because they'll be part of the VIP email list and get first crack at information about upcoming on sales. So within the back end of ShoWare, you can kind of encourage people to opt in because you're giving them information about what they want to hear about. But of course, that little opt-in for the canned spam rules and for the Canadian anti-spam rules is something that has to be clicked by the patron and acknowledged by the patron as an opt-in.
Okay. Question from Kathy. You showed us one template. Does the system allow us to send a newsletter? And Wendy, you can follow on, but I don't see why not. You can put in, again, a standard header for your newsletter. You can take the body of your newsletter and put it in a template if you want to send it directly from the ShoWare platform. And again, the other option is to send it through the back end of Emma, but you're not, I think it would be neat to send it through the back end of ShoWare if in that newsletter you're promoting a subscriber series or specific events and things, and you want to easily grab the links and you want to track that. So
yeah, I would echo that. You have a lot of flexibility within the template that we've offered to do single kinds of links, referral links, to do multi-content referral links like a newsletter, and then to echo what you said, if you wanted to use the back end of Emma and do something, more content rich, you can do that as well. So you really have the best of both worlds.
Cool. And again, as we answer these questions, if you're not 100% satisfied with our answer, please reach out to your CSM and ask them. And this is brand new for all of us, so we'll do the work to get you the answers you need, along the way. Nick has a question, and I think this is kind of more related to phase one, but here we go. Is there an easy way to use the integration for performance reminders or cancellation postponements? I guess it could apply to both, versus just marketing. We are already an Emma user.
Great.
And my answer there would be, within, maybe Wendy was going to show us something, within your performances, you do have automated reminders that you can change. You could also use the new integration to quickly pull a list together of everybody who's affiliated with that performance, and send something out quickly that way too. So I think there's two ways to accomplish that with existing functionality from phase one and the new integration. But Wendy, your thoughts?
Yes, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm showing right now, is within the performance setup. So for example, if you have a reminder email that you want to send out, you can do that on a performance by performance basis. So this is a reminder specific to this performance. Hey, you're coming tomorrow, here's where you want to park. Don't forget to visit our sponsor restaurant. You can put all of that communication into a phase one kind of marketing scheduled message and be able to trigger that so it automatically goes out. That works really well if you have a situation like a cancellation. That can easily be pushed, and this will go to anybody who has purchased tickets for this event, as opposed to a marketing email, which can be a much bigger audience of prospective buyers as well.
Thank you. All right, the questions are flowing, so here we go. This is great, love it. This is from Trampus, and can we import lists as well to add subscribers that are not part of our ShoWare system?
You would import them into Emma, yes.
Okay. Allison had, I don't know if this is a follow-up, if you'd like to use this for monthly newsletters, are there more customizable templates than the one column one you showed us? And within ShoWare, the one template that's there is the one template that's there today. There are plans to add more templates as we go. And so, this newsletter thing seems to be, maybe something we need to look at, something that's more compatible to that. But within Emma, certainly there's 1,000 different templates to access and be able to use. So there's two ways to accomplish that.
I think the key here is that you could be promoting multiple events, right? So I could be, if I was doing a newsletter and I wanted to promote a Christmas story, and I find that and I choose that, and then I want to continue and do additional ones and create a newsletter type format. I think you still could do that within our single template, and as Joe alluded to, we are definitely have plans to enhance and continue development on this product, and so I can see that as another enhancement as well.
Mm-hmm. So that is great. Thank you. Kathy had the same question as Larry, which is where and when does a person opt in to receive emails? I think we covered that pretty well.
And that's also on not only on the front end side as patrons come to purchase on their own, but in box office sales or call center sales, as well as you're creating new patron accounts, you can opt them in at that point as well.
Mm-hmm. And then you can opt in via the website, via your website, not within the ShoWare page. I guess you could put something in a banner or something. But Emma does allow you to opt users in as well, but that would be to your list stored in Emma. You wouldn't necessarily be pulling that through ShoWare. Can you real quick, Wendy, show everybody where the event images, banner images library is within ShoWare as a refresher?
Of course. It's here under Image Management and Event Images. And you have the upload tool, so you just browse your desktop and upload an image. And then as well, you can find your images here in your library. And, if you wanted to take a look at, we got a lot of them here. In fact, you can filter. Isn't that helpful? Oops, I got to be able to type correctly, though. So there's my Christmas story banner, and I can see that over here, and here's where that little HTML link is, by the way.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, darn it, I went back down to the bottom here. Okay, I'm almost back to where I was. Here we go.
There is a filter for event images versus banner images versus fund development images as well, just to clarify that.
Cool. All right. This is a good question, and this we might have to look at a little bit deeper on this one, but Allison is asking, if we're paying for Emma, does that mean we can access their services and templates and be able to access the same email segmentations we have in ShoWare? And
yeah, I mean, correct, you can. Up to this point, before we sort of deployed this tool, you really could use any email marketing tool that you were comfortable with. You would export lists out of ShoWare for buyer lists, for segmentation of data, etc. You would import those lists into your email marketing tool, build the template within that tool, get your referral links, and push the whole thing out through that email tool. So you can still do that through Emma. You can take advantage of their features and functionality. But I got to tell you, this is pretty easy. This is a very simplified wizard to kind of walk you through the process in about 4 steps, and especially for, I would say, organizations that have smaller staffs or whose folks are already stretched and wearing a lot of hats. This is a pretty easy way to get a campaign out and to let your patrons know about an upcoming offer and not have to deal with exporting lists and managing lists and importing them into another tool and creating referral links, which can require a little more HTML knowledge than certainly we're offering here. So I think as a way to just really make it an efficient email campaign to create, track, send, and report, it's pretty simplified here. But certainly you have the ability to use all of the tools and functions within the Emma account as well.
okay. So Liz had a couple more questions here, and Liz, on some of those pricing questions through Emma, like it doesn't list unlimited sends, and are there caps on the number of emails you can have? It's all pricing based on the caps. I don't, it's an extremely robust platform that's used by many large organizations, so they can handle a lot. And again, get with your CSM project manager, and they will put you in touch with the right rep at Emma to talk through some of those things. We just don't have that information there, because you're really, for the service, you're really contracting with Emma. I wish we had a little bit more info for you, but that's all I got for you right now.
Good questions.
Yeah. Okay, Trampus had a never mind, but because you showed that, I think. And then
This is certainly generating a lot of questions because it is new, and I think it's really a nice expansion of our product offerings to be able to create this integrated tool. And I'm really pleased to see it roll out and have all of the functionality that it has today. Do keep in mind this is kind of a phased approach, and we are looking to offer some enhanced developments over time, but man, I'm really excited about the way that this kicked off and having Emma as a partner to push it.
agreed. Final question, and then we'll wrap. Victoria had a question about, will Emma maintain our current segmentations from our previous email vendor? And again, we'll have to kick that one back over to Emma. Again, get with your CSM, get in touch with the rep, and then they can talk about moving data, but it is just data, and Victoria, I would give that a 99% probability that they're going to be able to segment your data pretty much the same.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable saying yes to that. I mean, if you were an existing Emma customer and maybe you migrated from one account to a different account level, certainly they would have to be able to support the migration of that. So I feel pretty comfortable saying yes to that.
Yep. All right.
Excellent.
Final question, and then let's do that. And then just wanted to thank everyone for attending our webinar, and if you've attended multiple webinars, thank you. We put a lot of time into them and hope you find them useful. We know your time's valuable, and we try to make all the information we put out there useful to you and growing your business. We think this is a great one. You'll receive an email tomorrow with a link to access the webinar recording. Our next webinar will be on December 1st, where we'll be exploring our new dynamic pricing functionality, and the real interesting part of that is we now have implemented demand-based triggers. So we'll dive into that, and we'll probably have a few other surprises for you on that webinar. Just we'll tack on a few new enhancements that aren't necessarily related to dynamic pricing, but help us build out our mobile story, and that's a really important thing that we keep a very close eye on at accesso. So we hope to see you on Thursday, December 1st at 11 a.m. and be looking for that invitation soon. And again, thank you for your time.